Sammy, you're how old?
18. It's my first month after joining. I did 21K like cash collected for 3 months prior to joining. I just didn't see any success. So I joined, and then in 30 days, like I flipped my entire business and got the results I wanted to see. We made him so much money. If you're tired of just losing, just join.
But here we got Sammy in the cut. Sammy, you're how old?
18.
18 years old. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Sammy is one of our RSPs. He's been in the community for a while. He's actually one of the youngest killers in the game. And tell these boys how much you did like your first month in the reserve.
It's my first month after joining. I did 21K like cash collected.
21K cash collected. And is that off of like rev shares or just like setups?
No, that was pure setups. Like I got some rev share clients like payouts like after that, but just the first 30 days, like month to month, September 1st to 30th, was 21K in setups.
Jesus Christ, bro. That's pretty insane. So before we jump into like how you exactly did like 21K your first month, bro, I want you to kind of tell these guys like what, you know, more about like what you were doing beforehand, and then the conversation you had with us before you got sent off to go to college. Because I don't know if you remember that, bro, but you were like absolutely tripping out. You did not want to go to college. And so just kind of tell them a little bit about that story.
Yeah, so like I've been in this kind of business model for 3 months prior to joining, and I just didn't see any success. Like I was just doing the same thing over and over again. Like I was probably working a lot more than I'm working right now. I was working like 7 hours a day. I just wasn't seeing any results. And I had previously bought a mentorship, and I started talking to Graham in the DMs, and then obviously they showed me the reserve. Like with no hesitation, I joined. Because I knew it worked. I just knew what I was doing wasn't working, and I had to change it. I joined, and then 30 days later, it happened. So
it happened, bro. That's insane. But one thing I will say, bro, and like what I respect about you is you actually put in the fucking work. You actually ask questions. You'd call us. You know, anytime you needed help, you'd be there. But within those like 30 days, obviously you're in the model beforehand. What was like the biggest thing that you changed that allowed you to do 20K your first month? And what do you think was like the biggest help from us? Was it just like help with like outreach, or what would you say?
it was help with everything. Well, one, I'd say, like once you join, like you actually kind of understand how to operate at a high level. You gain like some sort of conviction when doing outreach. It's like you're not just sending like random DMs and voice messages.
Yeah.
You actually like know, like if I were to sign this person, you'd already do X, Y, and Z for them. That level of conviction, like you could just
like
tell when you're like talking. Yeah, that level of confidence, like people can tell it through the camera, through the voice message. So when you have that level of confidence, it's so much easier to book calls. It's so much easier to close people on these calls as well. And then it's also like when you join the reserve, you don't just outreach to anyone like I was before.
Yeah.
Like I would just pick a list of 75 people and repeatedly hammer and keep following up with them.
For sure. And when you're like repeatedly hammering these people, bro, how soon does it take for you to like get first responses? Because a lot of operators in this space, and you'll see every fucking day, like they'll send a bunch of DMs, they'll send literally 100 a day, and then they won't get any responses back, and they'll just like give up and then go on to a new 100 people. So for you, like, what do you think was like the strategy that you used, and how soon would it take you to get a response? Was it immediately, or would it take some time and like follow up?
So honestly, once you get the first response, that's all you need. Like you already have your foot in the door from there.
Yeah.
But like even when I was doing outreach, like before I joined the reserve, I would get the first response. I just couldn't book them on calls. Mm-hmm. But what would change when I joined the reserve is I actually knew how to convey a really solid voice message or loom that would get my foot in the door, but also position myself as someone who knows what they're talking about and someone who could actually help them solve, what's wrong with their current setup. Yeah. And that allowed me to start booking sales calls. So it's not just about getting the first response. It's about how can you get, the response to an actual call.
Yeah. Like transitioning them from like first response to like showing that you know what you're talking about and then actually closing the deal. 100p.
100%, yeah.
100p, bro. Sick, dude. Well, for you, like if there was someone watching this who's, similar age or maybe even a little bit older and they're like, fuck, like I don't know if like operating is like the model for me, or like I don't know if I should join the reserve. What's like your one piece of advice for someone just getting started?
It's kind of a hard one, but I'd say just like if you wanna like if you're tired of just losing, just join. It's like I already knew this model worked for me and it was gonna work, but I just knew what I was doing wasn't working. Like it was 3 months, every single day it was working over 7 hours, and I was just seeing no results, and I was just tired of losing. So I joined, and then in 30 days, like I flipped my entire business and
Yeah.
got the results I wanted to see.
Crazy, bro. Well, yeah, I mean, I appreciate the kind words, bro, but I also want you to realize it's all your work ethic, bro, and like you actually fucking made it happen. I'm not sitting there in your phone making, DMs or closing these calls for you. One thing I want to tap in before I let you go, bro, I know your Mac's about to die, is you would come to me, bro, and like in the beginning you didn't really understand how to fulfill, like after you signed those deals. When it comes to like actual fulfillment and things like that, you've been able to implement the systems that we implement. Do they work? That's the biggest question because everyone talks about systems, funnels, etc. Do they work?
110%.
Why do you say that?
One of my biggest clients, because I signed one of my clients, I literally charged $8,000 up front. He paid me 8K. I probably would have made a lot more money if I just would have taken a revenue share. Because we took his business from 40K per month, his mentorship, to doing a 42K week in this November, where we have a webinar tomorrow. So like at the beginning, I was just kind of like hungry just to get my first cash collected.
Yeah.
If I would have just taken the systems, you would have, you guys taught me all the systems and stuff in place, and just taken a revenue share. The amount of money I made him, I would have made probably 4x. Like we made him so much money.
Yeah. No, for sure, bro. That's what we tell everyone, bro. We made bulk of our money off of like rev share deals. Like sometimes we don't even charge a setup if it's like genuinely that good of a client. They have like the lead flow and shit like that. So you definitely fucked up on that end, bro. We can't make that happen again.
No, it's a good learning process.
Yeah,
But
sure.
yeah, like it took me to that the state of mind of just trying to get my first dollars into like making a long-term partnership where you can make real money.
100%, dude. 100%. Well, bro, that covers really everything, dude. It's good to catch up with you once more, bro. As always, this is Sammy Custer. I'm gonna leave his Instagram and YouTube down below. Are you posting on YouTube or not yet?
I have a couple of videos up there.
Cool, sweet. So yeah, we'll link that down. Go follow this kid, bro. He's 18 years old. You guys are gonna see this dude do some fucking damage within the next year or two. He's absolutely killing it, and cheers to that, bro. You got any final words of motivation for the lads watching?
Just keep working. Just
keep working.
Keep putting in the efforts.
Head down, bro. Yes, sir. Cool, bro. Well, Sammy, I'll catch you, bro. Enjoy the last couple hours you have in Dubai, and we're wishing to see you back in the States soon, bro.
100%, bro.
Awesome.
Peace.
Dude. Talk soon, brother. Bye.